Good sunny day, everyone. It's me, your friendly intergalactic sun prince of the sun, Enyou Solaris to Moshimas. You can also call me Solaris or Soul. And I'm also not testing audio in the middle of my intro. And that's why I delivered those lines weirdly. Are you crazy? I don't know what you're talking about. Also, where's the picture? Okay. We are talking. Look at that. I have a whole mouse cursor and everything. I am suspecting that one of these days, anime is very stingy with copyrights. So I am suspecting one of these days, even though I'm just showing screenshots and encouraging everyone to go watch the show, that they'll still take me down. But then I can just re-upload them with a black box over the screenshot area, and it'll be fine. But surely it is fine, right? The show. It's not like I'm showing actual animation from the anime. Okay, anyway. Sasuke shooting a fireball, but it was the sunglasses thumbs up emoji that I shot out instead. For the audio only listeners, because I do specify this as a podcast. Anyway, we're watching, we're playing, we're talking about Dandadan. Excuse me if I'm a little rusty. It has been almost a year since I've done an anime discussion. I've had a rough year, to say the least. Basically, I could only stream like once or twice a week for the last like year, couple months. And I was like, something has to go. It might as well be the anime discussions. Because I'm like, I already had other, like, there was Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kirby Air Riders and all this other stuff that came out. So yeah, the last anime discussion was Kemfer, which is one of my favorites, which was June 29th. That was the end of Pride Month. And then I did a summer 25 anime seasonal impression in July, and that's the last time that I've talked about anime or done a podcast in this format. Well, I also did Game of the Year, which was kind of like a podcast-y format. My throat is already dying. But hey, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry. I guess that's good that it's Dandadan, so I won't have to worry about. Like, I'm sure you've seen my first season discussion of Dandadan, and if you haven't, you should watch that, because I'm gonna try to recap for people where it's been a while, especially for me since it's been a year. But you should just watch that one, and people, you know that I can talk about anime from the first one, so it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. You like my sword, by the way? I hardly ever have opportunity to show off the full sword and outfit, but when I do, I do. When I do, I do. But yeah, don't listen to me, kids. If you're gonna commission a VTuber model, you only need rigging from like the chest up, because that's all you're gonna be using like 90% of the time. You barely even need art from the chest down. But hey, whatever. I wanted it, and I'm fancy, and I've gotten use out of my legs. I appreciate my legs. But yeah, if I were to do it again, I'd be like, yeah, I could have saved some money. Anyway, we're doing Dandadan. Dandadan Season 2, anime by Science Saru. See, look, I have screenshots, I promise. This is just from the opening. I also have a thing stuck in my throat. Hold on. Again, this is mostly for derusting. For regular anime discussions come back. Also, shoutouts to Tevin, who requested that I do Dandadan and then didn't show up when I had the stream scheduled like 2 weeks out. So this stream is honored. This is dedicated to Tevin's memory, because they're probably dead, and then I'm gonna feel really bad about what I said about them. Also, Tevin, you said something that hurt Fox's feelings in Tomodachi Life, so I'm also mad at you for that. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm sure Tevin had a thing come up, or just had an ADHD moment. I can sympathize. Anyway, quick recap of season 1. So, Ten Takakura, not the famous handsome actor Ten Takakura, Takakura Ken, but some high school dork who's named after him, aka Okadun, got possessed by a spirit called Turbo Granny, but together with Momo Ayase, they subdued the spirit, and Momo also got like Esper powers, and Okadun got Turbo Granny powers. And if you really don't remember anything of the series, it is action show where they fight aliens and monsters and ghosts, umas, mytho beings. What, I always forget the English word for uma. Unidentified mysterious animal. Cryptids. It's cryptids. So they fight cryptids and ghosts. And there's a rom-com subplot also in the background. But yeah, Okadun has Turbo Granny ghost powers, so he can go really fast, and Momo has spirit medium powers, which basically just equivalent to she can lift things up with her mind, and she makes like these hands, and she can pick things up, and that's her power. That's her power. They got the main character syndrome of the main character power being very straightforward, but it works because the people that they fight have interesting powers. And yeah, Momo on the other hand unlocked her powers after being kidnapped by aliens. And then Momo and Okadun are the two main characters that have a cute dynamic. I really appreciate their dynamic in general. It feels really like natural. I'll talk more about that as we go on, but like, yeah, I think the manga author like read a bunch of like rom-com and other romance stories to figure out how to write these two characters in a regular shonen show, which is good research. It paid off, apparently. The overall goal of the story is to find Okadun's missing Kintama that he lost in the Turbo Granny incident. Kintama is his balls. He lost his balls. Don't ask about that, but they're looking for his balls, and his balls have like magical powers that attract like monsters to them, and don't worry about it. They found one ball in the first season, but they're still looking for the second ball. And in case you're wondering, Kin means gold and Tama means ball, and that the show Gin Tama is a play of words on that, because Gin means silver, so it's not even a gold ball, it's a silver ball, and that's the word for testicles in Japanese, Kintama, or at least the euphemism for it. Momo's grandmother is also a super badass spirit medium named Seiko. She's also a baddie. But she's one of those characters that like is too overpowered, so she has reasons to like not ever be in the show, because she would just solve everything like instantly. They also meet Aida Shiratori, who got murdered by a demon and then revived because the demon had like a tragic backstory. I'm still not over that tragic backstory in season 1 of Acrobatic Silky. That was effed up. Because it was like a single mom like raising her daughter and working on the streets, and then her daughter got kidnapped and was never found again, and then It was awful. It was awful. I'm like, this is supposed to be a fun ass shonen fight some aliens show. Why always crying? But yeah, Aida Shiratori is there, and she got acro silky powers, which is like acrobatic and also like hair based powers. I don't know what acrobatics have to do with hair, but sure, go along. And then the last character is Jin Enjoji, aka Gigi. He is Momo's childhood friend and comes to Momo and Seiko because his parents are sick from an evil spirit. He also has a little bit of a haters to lovers rivalry going on with Okarun. Because in the first season, like, Gigi was introduced and Okarun's like, I fucking hate that guy because he's trying to steal my girl. And then later on, like, they bonded over, like, being into spirits or whatever, and they kind of became a little bit of friends. And then that kind of brings us to where season 1 ended. Because season 1 ended on a cliffhanger where Okarun, Momo, and Gigi went to Gigi's hometown looking for a spirit that, like, cursed his parents or whatever. And Momo goes to a hot spring and she gets attacked by, like, ghosts or demons. A bunch of like, pale old men assault her in the bath. Momo gets it really rough sometimes. She gets almost, like, sexually assaulted, like, 18,000 times throughout the series. It's kind of horrifying. And they portray it in a really horrifying way. That was, like, in episode 1, where she went on the motherboard and the aliens were trying to assault her, and she got saved at the last minute, and, like, that happened several more times. And I'm like, yes, I know. It's terrifying being a woman. I know. You don't have to say it all the time, author. But yeah, Momo goes to the hot spring where she gets attacked, and then Gigi and Okarun find a hidden room in the house that they were staying at, and then it ended. Then the season one just kind of ended. I suspect that these two seasons were 100% supposed to be together, but the second season got delayed. Because season 1 ended in December 24, and season 2 started in July 25. And then I'm finally getting listen. It's been a hot minute. Don't worry about it. But it's fine, because the animation in the show is, like, effing awesome. I love the animation in the show, and season 2 is just as good. Just, like, not even just, like, good fluid animation, but just, like, really interesting framing and, like, use of, like, camera work to, like, tell a story. Like, it has cinematography. It's crazy. It's not always just cool fights and Dutch angles. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Sorry, what's up? What did I say? What did I say? So yeah, anyway, the animators can take as long as they want if they keep making good stuff. I don't know if season 3 still doesn't have a release date. It's been like almost a year since season 2 ended. But season 3 is confirmed, so they cooking. Also, I watched the show in Japanese because it's, like, about Japanese yokai, so I thought it would be fitting. The voice actors are cool too, especially Momo's voice, who has, like, an interesting, like, balance between, like, anime character and, like, real person, that, like, real actual, like, just a regular person. Because, like, she sometimes says, like, she talks, like, in a regular, like, cutesy anime voice, like, most of the time, or at least, like, rough tomboy anime voice character. But then sometimes she just says things that, like, you never hear in anime, but you hear all the time in real life. I can't really describe it. It's when she's, like, exaggerating things. Stuff like that. Like, really casual speech that you don't hear a lot in anime, but you hear all the time in real life. I did not do that. Okay, I fixed it. I've messed up my notes. Okay, I fixed it though. But the animation is, like, super awesome, and like the dub, I've heard bits of the dub and it's not like bad. So if you have a problem with like reading subtitles with all the insane animation that's happening on the screen, like I wouldn't blame you for watching the dub. It's not a bad dub. It's just like that's what I chose to watch. They made a Pokemon reference in the dub and they didn't keep it in the English version. But they did keep the Smash Brothers reference. So I don't know. Those are the two times where I checked to see what the dub did for that line. Also, the first season's opening was done by Creepy Nuts. It's Tevin! I take back all the terrible things I said about you. How's it going? Witness my arrival. We're almost done with the we actually just finished the recap. So if you weren't recapped already, it sucks to be you. But Momo and Okarun were trying to help Gigi's parents. So they went to his hometown, and Okarun and Gigi found a weird hole in the wall, and then Momo got assaulted in the bath. You can't wait to look back on this and hear everything. I only ever said good things about you, Tevin. But one last thing before we get into the actual thing. The first season's opening was done by Creepy Nuts, who did the songs for Call of the Night. Because Call of the Night was basically made because of a Creepy Nuts song, and then they actually had Creepy Nuts sing the opening for the anime version, so that was fun. And since the first season discussion of watching Dandadan, Creepy Nuts has also done the ending theme for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. They're easy Sonic mention, let's go. Everything always loops back to Sonic. I had to de-dust my room for a bit. That was not the excuse I was hearing. I was hoping to hear. Although the excuse I was hoping to hear is that you were dead. and then I was like, wait, hold on. I might actually feel bad if they actually are dead. But I'm glad you're not dead. But I'm also glad you're not dead. I'm also glad you're here for the anime that you requested that I watch. Because Mar was here, but they had to go take a shower, and they also didn't watch Dandadan. And they also have more followers on TikTok than I do. So I set up a new way to look at multi-chat, but I couldn't get it working for this stream, but I know how to get it working for next stream. Nothing on screen will change, but I have found a different program that I can use to look at chat, to look at the conjoined chats. But right now I just have two windows open. Meow, 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 meow. Okay. But yeah, speaking of the opening, they did change the opening. Well, we will talk about that first. Pet! Which is what I have here. I like the opening. It's not as, like, good and iconic as, like, the first opening. But, because that first opening was just, like, effing perfect. Because Creepy Nuts has, like, a very good, like, fun, catchy song mixed to it with a weird as what the fudge is going on. And that's kind of also, like, the vibe of the show, too. Where it's, like, a fun, traditional, like, action shonen. But also, like, weird shit happens, too. Yeah, I like the POV. I like the POV where Okarun like flashes back on like all the times that he saw Momo. That's very cute. And I also like how at the beginning of the opening he's like wandering through a dark tunnel, and then at the end of the opening he meets up with Momo, and then they run through the tunnel and out of the tunnel together, and it's beautiful. And it's a night. I like when openings tell like little mini stories in a way. Not necessarily like a PowerPoint presentation of all the things that are going to happen in the next season. Which, like, even some of the best openings can do that. Like, some of the Bleach openings do that a little bit. Where it's just like, hey, here are all the things that are about to happen. Enjoy. But this one, like, it tells, like, a little story that connects with the themes of the actual show. And it uses color in an interesting way. This anime, I don't know if this was from the first season, but the second season especially used color in a very interesting way. Like, all the major, like, people who have powers in the show have, like, colors that they, like, emanate and, like, take over the screen. And, like, sometimes there's, like, clashing colors like this, and, like, I like the use of the color. The way that things are colored in glasses is a reference to the line said by the running autonomy guy in the first season. Does that dude have a name? Because he shows up here in the second season briefly too. And I don't remember what the line was. I barely remember anything of the first season. I watched a recap. But I remember it enough to remember what the themes of the show were, and like, I'm sure as hell I don't know his name. We can look it up. He might just be a anatomy guy. Can I say autonomy guy? Taro. It's Taro and Hina. His name is Taro. I'm just gonna keep this open because I might need to know other characters' names, because I wrote down most of the characters' names, but because you know me, I'm very bad at remembering names. But you get the idea. But yeah, let's just go back to the first one. So, it starts and Momo's getting attacked by these dudes, and then the hot spring explodes, and then the roof falls down and kind of bails her out. And it was Turbo Granny who snuck along in the backpack. I don't know... do they ever really make it clear of like where Turbo Granny's powers are? Because Okarun has Turbo Granny's powers, but also Turbo Granny herself seems to have some powers for being inside of a doll. There's something like, you make my world more colorful when you're around, everything's grayscale, but on Momo... Oh yeah, look at that! That's crazy. Thanks for the find. Anyway, and then these creepy old ladies show up at Gigi's house, and then the opening plays. And then they just kind of make themselves at home. They're just like very crotchety. Is crotchety a word that people use anymore? Oh yeah, I'm going between like my screenshots. Again, this is the first time I've done an anime discussion like almost a year. Be nice to me. It's been 11 months, I think, because it's near the end of May now, and the last time I did an anime discussion was Kemper in the end of June. So yeah, it's been about 11 months. So this is mostly a de-rust. But yeah, Momo gets bailed out by Turbo Granny, then goes to learn that in ancient times, the people of the village sacrificed humans to the snake god to stop it from causing the volcano to erupt. And they're like, oh yes, we keep this legend around to remind people of how awful people were in the before times. And I'm like, yep, I like that a lot. Of just like, people in the past just didn't know crap. They just did things like that. They're like, maybe a human sacrifice will make the volcano not erupt and kill everyone. And people of the village like kept it up as like a cautionary tale. Which like you go to Japan and you hear people tell stories and go to like historical sites. Like, yeah, that is a common thing of like, here's something horrible that happened in the past, and we remember it and tell everyone about it to make it not happen again. It's an interesting perspective on stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, remember this terrible thing that happened? Let's not have it happen again. As opposed to just being like, I don't remember that terrible thing happening. I'm sure it won't happen again. History never repeats itself. Turbo Granny is a parody of the Magical Girl mascot. You're not wrong. I can't say that you're wrong, now that I think about it. Is this a magical girl show? Because Okarun has like his little like transformation into Turbo Granny mode. So there's kind of magical. There's not really a lot of magical girl references. It's not the most magical girl shonen show. That would have to go to Bleach. Bleach is definitely just a magical girl anime, where we have a full-on transforming hero and an animal sidekick. But yeah, you know, we do have an animal sidekick with a Turbo Granny. You're not wrong. Anyway, I think the creator read a bit of different genre to make the series and read better. Yeah, I was talking about that before you joined, about how I really like how the romance is done in the series, and I think the creator like read a bunch of romance stories in order to prepare for making Dandadan, and I appreciate that. Shoujo was one of them. Yeah, I could imagine that, you know, some magical girl influence slipped in there. But Turbo Granny's mostly just, yeah, you know, now that you mention it, Turbo Granny's kind of placed there as a info dump character, and that's kind of what like animal mascot characters are for in magical girl anime. So yeah, you know what? I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something. But anyway, I messed up my notes again. But yeah, the Keto family this is the Keto family, and they're still sacrificing people to this day, to the snake god, that we find out in this scene when this granny holds them at gunpoint. And I'm like, guns are not something you see a whole lot in anime, especially in like children's media. Is this children's media? It's a shonen show, so I don't know, man. I give exposition and stand around, exactly. And the police officer walks in on this, and they're like, well, that's awkward. But it's fine! They're all buddies with the police officer. They've infected the whole town, and also they beat up and took off their shirts. Don't worry about it. And then Momo has a fight where she kicks someone square in the nads. She is not above hitting people below the belt. She is not above hitting people below the belt. But yeah, they fall down into this big ass hole. The secret room was like a sinkhole into like all the previous like houses that used to be there, because they kept like destroying and rebuilding the house. And the house is on top of a mountain, so I guess they just like buried the house and built another house on top of it, and then just kept doing that. So that the current house is on top of a mountain that's below, and below it is just a bunch of other houses. Like, and like the further down you go, the older the houses get. And I'm like, that is really dumb, but it is a cool like area for them to like be around. So that's cool. And then there's the earthworm, or the worm god that they've been sacrificing that they've been sacrificing people to appease the worm god and not have a volcano. And Okarun is like, yeah, that's just a regular like cryptid. I remember the name this time. That's like a regular cryptid. It's a sandworm, except this one's a lot bigger. One of the kicks she does the same kick she did to her ex-boyfriend in the same episode. I think they referenced that in the first season too. Like when she got her like in the first like first or second episode, when she got her psychic powers, she did a kick to one of the aliens that was the same kick that she did to her boyfriend. But it's been too long now, and I don't remember the reference. Random old lady makes a reference to a Snake movie. I wouldn't know, but thank you for the info. I got the Smash Brothers and Pokemon references. that's what I wrote down. That's what I know. So yeah, they're like, yay, all hail the snake god, and then the snake god eats them. Jennifer Lopez Anaconda. Oh no, you're right. I do think I remember them saying something about Jennifer Lopez Anaconda, and the only reason I remember that is that I literally just watched Anaconda with Jennifer Lopez. Most random ass thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, whatever kicks was Jennifer Lopez Anaconda. Because there's a giant snake that wants to kill everyone. Except the giant snake's power is that it makes people want to kill themselves. So that's cool. And Gigi is like the only one that's immune to it, so he has to fight against superpowered Okarun and Momo as they try to stab themselves in the gut and also try to kill him at the same time. So that's fun. And then I should take note. I don't know, whatever. I think that part of that was anime only from what I heard. That's an interesting thing to add in the anime only, for anime only. Because, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's like, oh yeah, there's a reason that this guy stops it. I think it was just Okarun transforming. I've also not read the manga. I read Yuri visual novels. I'm too busy reading Yuri visual novels. I could do a manga discussion at some point though. Junji Ito-ass power. Welcome back, Mar. But I don't know, I guess it's like it was like a curse. It's like a curse both of these people have. Okay, I can see why it's anime only. Because the worm makes people want to jump off a cliff, but also this purple dude's power also makes people want to jump off a cliff. So they kind of like cancel each other's powers out. Don't worry about it. Yes, I have returned. I can see both chats. Chat in whatever chat you want. Pop out chat. Pop out stream plus YouTube chat now. I'm too powerful. That's crazy. You're powerful because you might be the only one viewing my stream on not a phone. Oh no, I think I only notice it when I can't make words. I've only been streaming for 30 minutes. Don't worry about it. Don't look at the time. Don't look at the time of the stream. I'm actually on phone. Don't worry about it. I don't know how the fudge that works. You have a magic ass phone there. Anyway, so this purple guy will be known as Evil Eye. And he was like a kid that they locked up forever and then sacrificed to the volcano. And so yeah, he has a really tragic backstory where he was just locked up and could see other children play around, and he was like, I want to play with the children, except no, he was just sacrificed to the volcano and turned into like a spirit or something. I also didn't actually say anything mean. I'm just really bad about incriminating myself. I think I did say something about Tevin's dead to me, and I Gigi is voiced by Persona 3 guy. I don't get that reference, I'm sorry. That's the blue one, right? But yeah, so Gigi is like, hey, you know, I'll be your friend, don't worry about it. I feel bad for you, evil spirit that possibly made my parents want to jump off a cliff, but and is torturing me, but hey, you saved us and you have a tragic backstory, so I'll be nice to you. And then he immediately gets possessed. He gets effing, the fucking evil eye possesses Gigi, and then that becomes a problem for the entire rest of the series, of the season, pretty much. The blue one. Ask Lee, who's Lee? Lee Nevada. So yeah, Gigi gets possessed by Evil Eye, and Evil Eye is evil, even though he's just a little kid who wants to play with the other kids. He just wants to murder everybody, so he immediately murders the sandworm and also strips into his undies. I don't know why that happens, but there he is. He has a cool ass effing design. I don't know. His design is just purple and rainbow earrings and weird psychedelic looking eye in the middle. That is cool. But I think he just has really strong aura points, because every time he shows up, you know shit's about to go down. And also he has this like purple aura around him. So he's literally has aura points. It's the Ringon. This Naruto ass, pilled ass looking ass. So anyway, and then Okarun and possessed Gigi by Evil Eye fight. Is that a consistent character design? Did I never notice that? Gigi has like a triangle running down his back when he's possessed by Evil Eye. And then, yeah, episode 3 is just effing cool fights, where Okarun fights possessed Gigi, and Momo tries to light the house on fire, so the fire department floods the underground to draw out the earthworm. Oh yeah, he's got weird back shit. I always just thought that was lighting. Now that I'm looking at the screenshot by itself, maybe now I'm noticing. Also, mouse cursor. Oh yeah, I can just point, right? My mouse cursor is visible. Yeah, look at his back thing. But yeah, it's a cool ass fight. Also, he has like a soccer ball that he can like shoot around, and so he has like he's like the most powerful character in the series at the moment, because like he just shakes off fighting anyone he fights, and then like he feels overwhelming because he's really strong and fast, and then he also has this soccer ball that like instantly kills you. And then the Okarun's like finally thought like, hey, I think I beat him, and then that's what I'm talking about. Like the purple comes back. His Evil Eye's color is purple. So the fudge was that noise? They think he's dead, but he comes back. That's in the wrong order. Where like he runs away, and then he's like standing there like, yo, what's up? Looks like a JoJo ass character. Built like a JoJo character, I tell ya. And then anyway, Okarun fights off Gigi. He can go all out like twice a day, and so he had to use both his all outs to kill Evil Eye, but even then that only like put him like unconscious for a little bit, and then he got stuck in the muck because the earthworm shoots out sticky mud things. Like, don't worry about it. Again, to people like Mar who has not watched the show, I'm sure they have no fucking idea what's going on. Anyway, so Momo is like, I know how to draw out the earthworm into the sun and out of that pit. I'm gonna set the house on fire, and then the firefighters are gonna flood the house, and then that's going to make the worm have to come up for air, because that's how worms work in real life. I have a grasp. I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version of this. You should go watch it. Maybe it'll make you interested. I've watched anime that I wasn't planning on because I saw a spoiler and I thought that was cool. Some people are just built like that. But I announce anime discussions ahead of time on my community tab and on Blue Sky, just in case anyone does want to go in without any spoilers. So that works, and the giant earthworm comes out and immediately melts to death via the power of the sun. That was me. I did that. Usually when spooky, scary shit happens in the manga, everything turns white, like stark white, and the very little blacks to give it that eerie feel. That's interesting. I should try the manga. I really like they did a lot of interesting things with the anime that I'm like, how would you do that in a manga? So I'm very interested in the manga. I might actually check that out. And then just for good measure, Momo throws an effing fire truck at the earthworm and completely destroys the house. The house is just catching shade at that point. And then the earthworm is finally defeated and then vomits out the people. Because these people just are nuisances and never want to stay dead. And then, oh my god! Killing the worm actually made the volcano go off? The crazy murderous people in the past were right? What the fuck? Such a good scary scene in the manga. I'm so ready for it to get animated. Is it past season 2? I guess it has to be if you're caught up on the anime. And the way that you said that message. If I had reading comprehension, I could have answered my own question. That's crazy. It's past this season? Okay. But anyway, so the volcano goes off and the family's like, hey, I told you killing the worm god would anger the volcano and make it erupt. And Momo's like, that's stupid. What actually happened is that Momo figured out that they misinterpreted the legend, and that the hot springs going haywire is what preceded the volcano going off. Like, and that is actually like, because the way that the legend was written was they thought like they're like, oh yeah, something will fly into the sky and cause a rainbow, and that causes the volcano to go off, and they kind of interpreted that as like there's a worm god that will do that and cause the volcano to go off. But Momo figured out that like, oh hey, it's the hot springs going haywire that shows that there's some like geothermal energy happening, and that's what causes the volcano to go off. And that actually does happen in like throughout like Japanese history, where like there are texts where people don't quite understand what, like, there's very like interpretive text in old-time Japanese speak, because old-time Japanese speak is basically a different language, and there's many different interpretations of how to modernize it. Gay Pride, happy early Pride Month. With the correct rainbow, yeah. The red on the top and the purple on the bottom. I'm always upset when I see upside down rainbows, because it's always this order. There is never another order for the rainbow to be in. You can't have an upside down ass rainbow. Yes, I will fight for rainbow accuracies. But yeah, I think that's a fun thing where they just like misinterpreted the saying, and Momo figured it out. Like, oh yeah, actually, because I know, like back in the day, like during like the 1800s, there was a giant earthquake, and there were texts that described what happened during the earthquake, and people were confused about like how big of an earthquake it was, because they're like, okay, did he feel a shaking and then stand up, or did he stand up and then felt a shaking? Because the way that it's written is vague. Like stuff like that happens all the time in like throughout Japanese history, because translating old texts is very difficult. But Momo figures it out, and then so she takes the dead worm carcass, runs it through town, sticks it in this hose pipe, and then sticks one end in this pipe, and then shoots the other end into the burning forest where the volcano is erupting, and basically uses the earthworm as like a giant hose. And I think that's really fun. I just like when Momo uses her power for really stupid things, like throwing a fire truck at something, or carrying around a giant ass worm. Especially scenes like this where she's just like running for the back streets with this giant ass worm. It's fun. Meow, 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 meow. Oh yeah, and then a bunch of crazy shit happened. Because I think we're on episode 4. Yeah, 4. So I can see why they stopped right there in the first season, especially if the season 1 and 2 were supposed to be like airing at the same time, or airing like right back to back. You love that Momo doesn't have big flashy powers. She can still fight as well, yeah. Because she can fight, but she's still, her powers are situational, so she's helpful. But as far as like one-on-one macho fighting, she's not super duper helpful. She's more of a strategist than anything, because her powers can do things like that. Yeah, she's more tactical than the others. She doesn't do like, you know, manly fisticuffs fighting. You know, she does smart, tactical, let's think about this rationally kind of fighting. Like, she had the idea to burn down the house to call out the sandworm, and then she also had the idea to use the worm as a hose. But she also does badass things too. Like, she threw this effing truck through a building. So yeah, I think Momo's powers are very well written. She's not just like, hey, I can go fast like Okarun. Okarun's powers are pretty one note. Like, he goes fast. Very Joseph Joestar. Maybe that's why I like Momo a lot, because I liked Part 2 JoJo, where it's just like, I'm just gonna come up with the most BS reason to beat you, and it's gonna end up working. So yeah, as she was doing this, possessed Gigi showed up to stop her. No, what the fuck? What are the order of events here? Because I think it was the old ladies showed up to try to stop Momo from desecrating the god's corpse or whatever. And then this dude from the shrine showed up and was like, hey, your grandmother told me to help you, and I just put 2 and 2 together that you're the granddaughter of the grandma I'm supposed to help. So he shows up and he starts fighting, but then effing Evil Eye, possessed Gigi Evil Eye shows up, and so he starts going haywire and starts trying to kill everyone. And then they're like, well, no, we don't want to make Gigi a murderer. Oh yeah, this is another instance of his purple aura spreading, where you can see like everything's normal, and then like the foreground gets purple and the background gets purple, and then everything gets purple. So they're like trying to stop Evil Eye from killing anyone because they hate these old ladies, but they don't want to make Gigi a murderer. And then they're losing against him because he's just super powerful. And then Punching Mantis Shrimp shows up, you know, the guy, the alien from the first season who was like, he fought in the like Loch Ness Monster episode. But it turned out he just wanted some medicine for a sick kid, and it turns out that milk is basically their blood, so as long as he gets a blood milk transfusion, then he's fine. And they gave him a cow, so now they're friends. So then he came back to help them. He just wanted some milk blood. Exactly. Referencing the fact that Joseph doesn't have big flashy stand, just a bunch of vines that make him clairvoyant and more tactical than the others. Oh yeah, I was thinking of Part 2 Joseph, but Part 3 Joseph also has like an episode where he does that. Yeah. So yeah, Mantis Shrimp is back. And then from a UFO, fudging the mannequin doll that we just learned the name of, that we just looked up the name of, Tato, I think his name is. Yeah, Tato and Seiko show up, and they're like, "Yeah, we're here to save the day." And in Mantis Shrimp's UFO, like, and then so Autonomy Guy and Evil Eye have a big fight, and then Autonomy Guy gets like blown up, and then Seiko does like a spell to have Autonomy Guy get like encases Gigi so he can like restrain Evil Eye, and that's how they stop him. They just they're like, yeah, we can't restrain him forever, but for now we'll just put him inside of Mannequin Guy, and then autonomically correct Guy. And then it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And he might be able to... Evil Eye might be able to have enough power to break out eventually, but for now, don't worry about it. And then they use the UFO's tractor beam to put out the fire, and everyone lives happily ever after. The end. Except fucking Okarun and Turbo Granny are still in the pit, which has now been frigged. They've now been Okarun and Turbo Granny are in the pit where that is now flooded with magma, and Momo's like, oh my god, he's dead. And then she was like, hold on, and then she's like, I'm not gonna let you die frigid. Anyway, they put in the fridge for later use. He got fridged. Fridged. What are we talking about? Anyway, so Tractor Beam takes out the glop of magma, and then they're like, oh my god. And then they bust it open, and then, hey, Okadoon's still alive. He made a shield with the gunk from earlier to hide from the magma. And then he's like, hey, what's up? I'm still alive. And she's like, yeah, you're alive. I thought you were dead. And they have this like little sweet moment, and it's very nice. And that's pretty much, never mind. That's the end of, I had trouble. I broke this up into 3 parts, I think. Yeah, 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and then 9 to 12. But if this is the kind of story that doesn't have clear endings, beginnings, and endings to their arcs, so I just had to do the best with what I got. Never mind. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'll play the sound clip. Do I have do I have audio? Yes, I do have audio. Also, I have a notification on Twitch. What do you want? Achievement unlocked. Stop! You're a fudging live streaming service and not a video game.
I have this stupid.
I gotta save that video so I can just play it at any time, because I've been getting a lot of use out of it. Yeah, apparently that's a thing with the creator. There's never really a break in the arcs. Things just kind of happen, yeah. Because, spoiler alert, this season ends on a massive cliffhanger that kind of ends the arc, but also the end of the arc leads into the next arc. So, like, yeah. Because they defeated the sandworm and stopped the volcano and subdued Evil Eye, but Evil Eye is still possessing Gigi and is still a threat because he's gonna break out of the spell that he's in not too long. Can't wait to talk about that. Oh yeah. Well, it's only taken us 2 hours to get to this part, so it should only take us another 4 more hours. No. I did an hour of start screen. What happened to Ida? Ida wasn't in this arc. She's in the later arcs. Because at the beginning of the next episode, she's just there. They're all just hanging out. Everybody's just kind of hanging out after the end of the last arc. But yeah, that was a fun arc. I like that a lot. It'll make sense later. Oh my god. Did you just spoil a character's death for me? But you know what that means. That means I'm gonna have to ban you. That means I'm gonna have to ban you. I'm gonna hope you mean metaphorically. For your safety, I'm gonna hope you mean metaphorically die than actually die. Anyway, so yeah, that was a fun arc. I could see why they couldn't finish it again if season 1 and 2 were supposed to be back to back, but also like, I don't know, where do you stop it? Would you stop it like 2 episodes earlier? But I think that was like the longest arc of the series so far, because I want to say the previous arcs were like 3 episodes, but this one, there was 2 episodes from season 1 and then 4 episodes from here, so it's like a 6-episode arc. I also love that that'll make sense later. I will either ban you or mod you depending on if that's a spoiler or not. Your life is in your own hands. Love that Ida just shows up like she did something. And titling these 1 to 12 as opposed to 13 to 24, but now that I'm noticing that the anime is titling this episode 17, not episode 5, but whatever. She heard free food and ran over. She just wants to be part of the plot. Because, like, the main characters are, like, Momo and Okarun. And they also had, and they have, like, usually have, like, a third wheeler for, like, plot reasons. And so Ida had her time in being the third wheeler, and then this arc was Gigi. And then Gigi is inside of Mannequin Guy, Gigi is possessed by Evil Eye, and then Gigi possessed by Evil Eye is in Mannequin. And the reason that Evil Eye possessed him is that Gigi has, like, high... he's a prodigy. He has high spirit compatibility or whatever. He's a candidate, or he was made in a... I was just about to spoil Blue Exorcist, because I just finished catching up on Blue Exorcist, the anime. And they also have a lot of things about, like, getting possessed in vessels and whatnot. So, but anyway, go watch Blue Exorcist. It's crazy. Season 1 and 2 are fairly standard, and then after that, it gets fucking wild. It gets fucking wild. And then season 5 or 6, I think it's 5, is like a flashback arc that is peak. Absolute, one of the best flashback arcs in anime. Momo, the creator confirmed in an interview that Momo is the protagonist and Okarun is more of the secondary. I kind of feel it. I kind of see them as like dual protagonists, which was kind of half the inspiration for my own series, Dead Spy Road Trip. Go look it up. It's on Medium and YouTube under my podcast section, reading my writing. Just gotta pop the my own writing. But I mean, I know that's what the creator said, but how it feels to me as a viewer, at least in the anime, it feels that they're kind of equal. Also, the perspective on this thing is wrong. The perspective on this is wrong. It looks flat, and I can't explain why. But yeah, I like the shot of the beginning of the episode 5 and everyone just kind of awkwardly eating. All the characters that they've gathered are just kind of awkwardly eating. Okuni was created because no one wanted a shonen series the girl protagonist. I thought that's been changing somewhat recently, but I guess it's still not super common. Because I know the JoJo creator also ran into that. Because I think part 5 was supposed to have a female protagonist, but then... And then by part 6, he was like, F it, F it, F it, F it. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm the creator of JoJo. Yeah, people still be bitches about it. They're like, our demographics though, our demographics. What can our demographic has to latch onto a character? We need a Kirito. We need a Kirito. You don't understand. Yeah. Giorono? I've not seen I've not seen part 5, 6, or 7. I've only seen up to part 4. Meow 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 meow. Anyway, back to talking about the anime. So yeah, episode 4, 5, 17. Say Giorno. Okay. Mars like, hold on. Soul's being wrong about JoJo. I gotta get it on here. Again, now that I'm in an anime podcast, I will ask again. Would people be interested in a JoJo Part 5 discussion? I feel like there's not a whole lot to discuss other than, hey, look at that was cool. But that's basically what I said about some of this, where I'm like, hey, this fight was pretty cool. But, between this and this was just a cool fight and nothing else, so I didn't have anything else to talk about. Yeah, I had to lock in. I need to stop playing with my hair as a fidget toy. That's not a thing. So yeah, they're just kind of hanging out, and then they're like, hey, Gigi's in here. But also, it's Evil Eye. But also, there's Evil Eye. And also, this is what Mantis Shrimp's baby looks like. It's very adorable. I could see this being a Pokemon. Pokemon looking ass dude. It has quite a bit in the symbolism department. Maybe I could do like, 20 episodes like I do with like Pokemon and whatnot. I'll think about it. We're doing Dandadan right now. Anyway, so they're like, hey, we've contained Evil Eye for the time being. Okay, no, this is where they figure out that, this is like the chill, relaxing episode before the actual rest of the plot goes. Like, after a 6-episode arc, we need a breather. So yeah, they basically find out that, like, Gigi has, like, a Ranma 1/2 situation going on, where, like, if he gets sprayed by cold water, he turns into Evil Eye, and if he gets sprayed by hot water, then he goes back to being Gigi. And Gigi's cool, Gigi's their friend, but Evil Eye just wants to kill them. So basically, they're like, don't let him touch cold water, or everybody dies. Yeah. I immediately thought of Ranma when I saw that, mostly because I just watched Ranma. And by just watched, I mean like a year ago. And season 2 of Ranma was the other candidate for this current discussion that we're doing, but that will be done at some point later. So yeah, they're like, hey, don't split. It's a Ranma situation, but as opposed to changing gender, it's changing sides and power. So they're basically like, don't put effing cold water on Gigi or everybody dies. Gigi literally references it. I don't remember there being a specific reference to Ranma other than just the general thing that happened. I don't need my headphones on. Why do I have my headphones on? I'm trying to break them in, but they're still like cutting into my ears. Did I not save that one scene? Yeah, no, maybe I didn't save any of that one scene, but it's in the opening, so we can go back. Hold on. Chotto mate kudasai. This is gonna get me content ID'd. Nope, I don't have a shot of that, but like, it's Momo and Okadun like in the car, and they have a cute little moment where they kind of touch hands. And Okadun gets all flustered and embarrassed. Seems the first opening from the original series. I've only ever seen the remake. I know I'm a poser. They do sing a lot of weird ass songs in this show. Again, another reason I want to read the manga, because I'm like, well, what happens there? Because the baby is also singing a song as he's doing this, like using the hose. Touching hands, can't allow that on stream yet. Apparently that's why I don't have a screenshot of it. It might have been during one of those scenes where like I was so locked in and watching the show that I forgot to take screenshots. I was loving that shit, caught that immediately. Okay, I will watch the original Ranma at one point because I really like the remake, but I'm watching the remake because it's new, and I thought it'd be funny to watch the remake before I watch the original. But the original has been on my plan to watch list for like at least a decade at this point, so you know, whatever. But yeah, so they caught the rest of the family, but the one old lady got away, and then she shedded her skin, and again has like a color aura thing around her, and she's actually a sub-terrestrial, and she's like, I'll get you for this, Momo. You've just made enemies with the entire sub-terrestrial community. And then she never shows up again anyway. And then she never shows up again. I mean, I'm assuming she'll show up at some point. But spoiler alert, she does not show up at this thing. Did you go to Twitch to send a YouTube link? Whatever works, whatever works. I gotta mute. Hold on, I'll watch this while I will watch this, but I will mute the desktop audio while I do it, so I don't get copyright. This is also in a dub. The subterrestrial community does not forgive Momo. Oh, that's it's a comparison between the original, the dub, and the sub. That's funny. Yeah, I just assumed it was like a random ass song, not an actual anime opening. Again, if I saw the original, I would have immediately got that. Pull up the clip. Pull up the clip. Why do I not just have it up? You ask. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I have the stupid. I have the stupid.
We're gonna keep that up just in case I need it later. Except any, but yeah, now that I actually know that reference, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Meow, 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 meow. So like how you use Twitch for that because it allows links. You must agree to the terms of service to view this embed. Okay, or I could just click on the link. Oh yeah, I'm losing it. We're not even halfway through. Okay, well, I think we're on episode. I think we're still on episode 5. Whatever, it's Daijobu. Again, this is the D-Rust for the actual getting back into anime discussions. Kind of crazy how bad GG's situation is. Yeah, absolutely no cold water at all. They're like, when you go to the bathroom, like he has to heat. They have a scene where like Okadun has to like heat up the water for him, or else he'll turn back into Evil Eye. I don't know if I got a screenshot of it, but you get the idea. And like, yeah, that's effed up. It's effed up. And like, if Evil Eye gets out, like he kills everyone, and that happens later. Spoiler alert. But I just want to say I did this because I just want to say how impressed I am by the animation and the slice of life scenes. Because like even when they're just like in school hanging around, there's still like crazy animation or like crazy shot composition like this, and like crazy animation to like really convey the feelings of the scene. And like usually in like, you know, action shows, the school slice of life stuff is used as like a break for the animators where they can just have the characters standing and just flapping their lips for like minutes on end and they don't have to animate anything. But the animators of Dandadan don't give a fuck. they it's full throttle all the time. That's probably why the second season got delayed and why season 3 is taking so long. I like Momo's hair shape, by the way. It's like an oval. It's very interesting. At least in Rama, he has to be drenched by it, yeah. Because in the next scene, like, they're just playing around, and he's like, hey, you want to play Super Smash Brothers? In Japanese, he said, Suma Bora. Because, yeah, I think in Japanese, Smash Brothers is Suma Buro. For Smash Brothers. But in Dandadan, he says Smash Bra. And then in the dub, I think he says Smash Bubbles or something dumb like that. I forget what he says in the dub, but I checked it, and they do have the Smash Brothers reference in the dub too, which is weird because later Momo makes a Pokemon reference, and that is not in the dub, but it's in the sub. But yeah, so anyway, they're just casually like hanging out, eating dinner, and then a drop of shoyu sauce drops on him, and push. Can't remember what they said in the dub. Yeah, they say something. They don't say Smash Brothers, but they say something like Smash Brothers, something to that effect. Or they don't say the actual word, but you can tell that it's supposed to be Smash Brothers, like they did in the sub. It was a fateful translation. That's all I remember. But yeah, they're just sitting there and they're like, oh shoot. And then Evil Eye comes out and destroys the entire effing house. And then it was at this point where I was watching the ending theme and I'm like, Who is this guy? Who is this guy? There's just this dude in the ending theme. The ending theme is also really good. It has like a school festival kind of visuals to it, and it has fun music. But like, I don't know who the fudge this guy is. He doesn't show up till like near the end of the season. So like for most of the season, he's just a dude that is in the ending, and for no particular reason. Incel character, don't worry about him. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. He's a nerd. We don't like nerds here, other than the main character. Anyway, so they're like, hey, this is getting ridiculous. We gotta exercise Evil Eye, but we're not powerful enough to do it on our own. So we're gonna hire this metal band that can sing songs to exorcise demons. And they're like, excuse you? And they do. They effing... This is another reason why I said I want to check out what the manga does, because they just have this rock-ass insert song where they just kind of effing wail on the guitar and have this really sick-ass head-banging metal song. He's the nerdiest of the nerds. Not even the nerds like him. We'll get to him eventually, don't worry. But first, do you like this metal band? They have like these lights in the sky, and it's just like they're jamming on the fun instruments. And it's music. It's just like, it's like a music scene, and I'm like, am I watching an Idol anime? This is the last time that there was an extended musical sequence in an anime was in when I watched Idol Master like last October. Not Idol Master, Zombieland Saga last October. Highly recommend Zombieland Saga. Has a trans character in it, just saying. Just saying. And it's also really good otherwise, and it also has a good dub. I watched it dubbed. I think there's a Back to the Future reference. Oh yeah, they're like, what car do you want to travel through time? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh yeah, also they have a sleepover because Evil Eye to help take shifts watching over Evil Eye. But yeah, they have this like pop band, they have this metal band come over and like do a sick ass fun thing, and they're about to kill Evil Eye, and Gigi is like, wait, hold on, please don't kill Evil Eye. They have they're just a baby. They're just a baby. They don't know that killing is bad. They're just a baby. They just want to play with their friends. So they're like, okay, call off the concert, and they don't end up actually exercising Evil Eye. And then they're like, well, what are we gonna do? Because Evil Eye is just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger, and there's every time that Gigi comes into contact with not hot water at all, he turns into Evil Eye and wants to kill everyone. So like, what the fudge are we gonna do about that? And also, he destroyed half the house, so Momo's gotta go get a job. Which is what this next episode is about. I think it's frame all the plugs and stuff on the verge of exploding and all the stuff plugged in. Is that what it is? I thought they verbally made an explicit Back to the Future reference, or unless you're talking about this fire, but this fire was part of the exorcism ritual, so I don't know. Kevin, I don't know. Hold on.
I have the stupid.
But yeah, there's also a cute scene between Okadun and Gigi where Okadun wants to help Gigi because he's his friend, and also he wants to pay the favor forward from when he got possessed by Turbo Granny. And then he has a flashback where they're like, hey, here's where Okadun is trying to give money to Seiko, being like, hey, thanks for helping me with Turbo Granny. Here, take some money to repay back the favor. And Seiko's like, hey, I'm not going to accept that money. Instead of repaying the favor, you should just pay the favor forward and help somebody else when they need it. And Okadun's like, I'm going to do exactly that, and I'm going to help my friend, and I'm going to pay the favor forward, and I'm going to... He's like, I'm going to help Evil Eye somehow. I'm going to help Gigi. I'm going to help Evil Eye. We're going to figure this out. I don't know how, but we're going to figure this out. And it's very wholesome, and I like it. It's been a million years since I saw Back to the Future. Okay, it was... No, wait, it was the tuning of the speaker that was Back to the Future reference. Okay, I thought they just said something about, like, a time-traveling car. Like, what car would you prefer to time travel in, or something to that effect? We are on episode 6. I don't know when we'd stop from being episode 5 to 6. But this is the ending of episode 6. Where the job that Momo got was at a maid cafe. Because Momo's friends were like, hey, Okadun, let's go get a drink. And Okadun's like, what the fudge? Why? Who are you people? I don't know you. And Momo's friend here on the left is an actual Garu. There was some There was some drama on the Japanese side of the internet where people were getting mad about characters like Momo and the main girl from Dress Up Darling, who are like fake Garus, and they're not real Garus, and they're corrupting Garu culture and erasing Garu culture. And I'm like, I guess we don't have to have any nuance or whatever. Just a reminder that Japanese side of the internet can be just as stupid as the English side. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. And also, none of these characters are claiming to be Garus. They're just taking some aspects of the Garu culture and using it, you know? Although Dress Up Darling might actually say the word Garu in it. But like, also, traditional Garu culture is also very offensive, so do we really want to uphold traditional Garu fashion and culture and history? Think about it. But yeah, also, things just change and evolve over time. That is the natural way of the world. Get effing used to it, buddy. Sometimes things change for the worse, but sometimes things change for the better. You know? It's just the fact that the universe is alive. People care about Garu culture now and are wanting to evolve it and push it beyond normal stereotypes. Would you rather have, like, absolutely... Would you rather have the original traditional Garu culture with nobody talking about it at all because it hasn't evolved or changed in 50 years? Is that what you want? Get with the times. The future is now, old man. Sorry, I got into a rant. What are you saying, Tevin? Glad you went to the frame. There's something I love about this thing. I love how the creator uses immaturity and stupidity to make the characters seem more friend-like. I love how Momo and Kokunu are sharing their ass off for the band, and then cut to even Ida aggressively headbanging. Oh yeah, that was a good shot. There's reminders that, like, hey, these characters are babies and are just kids trying to figure out what the fudge is going on in life. I do like that a lot. Oh yeah, there's also this I'll get into this later. But later on, they're like, hey, we have to... I know Okadun wants to save Gigi. I know Okadun and Gigi want to save Evil Eye. But, like, you know, we have to teach these kids about the realities of being an adult. And sometimes you have to make shitty decisions that you don't like. Because that's just what being an adult is. And Seiko's like, isn't being an adult, like, teaching the younger generation to have hopes and aspirations for the future? Stuff like that. I like that. Of just like, you know, what are adults' role in to children? Like, what should we be trying to instow onto the next generation? Should we be trying to instow hope and optimism, or should we be trying to instill realistic pessimism? Don't ask my mom the answer to that question. Anyway, I'll talk to my therapist about that later. Everyone's allowed to be stupid. That is not a character who's above it all. Oh yeah, that's the fun thing about this series, is that all the characters can act a little stupid and dumb sometimes. Even the guy who's like the serious, I gotta find that clip. This guy who's like the serious monk, he wants to be a YouTuber. He's the one who's like, hey, we gotta teach these kids the cold, harsh truth of the world, but also at the same time he wants to be a YouTuber. Sorry, a boo-tuber is what he wants to be. A boo-tuber, yeah, sorry. Almost forgot about that, Tevin. You are Tevin, right? Okay. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, we're almost at the end of this arc, because the last 2 episodes of the arc are, vibes and fights. So yeah, Momo picks up a job at a restaurant to help pay for the damages to the house, because she wants to help contribute in some way too. Because it's all very wholesome how everyone wants to work together. And this is also a very, like, I'll say Japanesey trope of conflict happening because everyone's being too nice to each other. Because this is only happening because Momo wants to help repair the house, and I guess this is not. And well, I guess this is because Okarun is too nice to decline an offer from Momo's friends. So it's Okarun being too polite, and then Momo being too nice, which is causing this conflict. And I like when that happens. It's very wholesome and entertaining. It's a lot better than conflict happening because A, someone's a dirtbag, or B, because there's a very clear and obvious misunderstanding, which anime and Japanese media in general is not immune to, but still. Also, unrelated non-anime notes, I watched Rental Family last week, and it was good. I liked it. It gets my official weeb's seal of approval. They got all the Japanese culture right in that one. But that's all. And it was also it's also a sad boy hours. The only problem I have with it is that it takes place in Japan and everyone speaks English. Everyone just happens to know perfect English. Like all the major characters, and like they live in Japan, but all the major characters in the movie just so happen to speak English for no real reason, other than we have to make this movie appeal to Westerners, and they don't want to read subtitles, which is just a general thing for that like non-Asian media doesn't have to worry about. Like that's why you don't hear a whole lot about like non-Western why you don't hear a lot about like Asian dubs, because that culture is generally more accepting of watching subtitled stuff. There are still some exceptions, obviously, but still, Westerners there are some Westerners who are like, if this doesn't have a dub, I'm not watching it. So that's probably why they had all the Japanese characters in that movie just speak perfect English, so then they didn't have to subtitle the whole entire movie. There's still some subtitles in that movie. Anyway, episode 7 is really good. Episode 7 is really, really good because it's just cute Okarun and Momo, and also the vibes are immaculate. So they have the cute little back and forth of Okarun at Momo's maid cafe, and her friends are just like laughing their asses off, and Okarun is like all embarrassed, and Momo is just like very angry about the whole situation. It's a very fun, and then they get a little picture taken together, and it's very cute, and then they leave. And also Momo just looks really good in a maid outfit, not gonna lie. She's cute. But yeah, I also like just the vibes in general, because after that, there's like a really long scene of her working at the maid cafe and like looking at the clock, being like, okay, I'm off at 10, and at 6:30, and she does a bunch of work, and then she looks at the clock, and it's like 6:35, and she's like, ugh, and then she does a bunch of more work, like slightly, and just gets slightly more and more exhausted as the night goes on, and the clock moves slower and slower, and I'm like, I get that. Love Tri-Beam. Tri-Beam is a Dragon Ball move. Oh yeah, you're right. I think that's just a maid cafe thing in general, where they put magical spells on food to make it more delicious. That's just the maid cafe experience. I know, I've been to a maid cafe. I need to get to more maid cafes. I was listening to VTuber Maid Mental talk about how she just spent an entire like 3 days in Japan just going around to different maid cafes and going to the different themed ones. And she gave me some good recommendations. I wrote them down. Anyway, not important right now. So yeah, and then at the end of the shift, she's like alone at night, and she's like, I guess there's no one here, because she told Okarun to go home, that she didn't need anyone to walk her home. So she leaves work and is just exhausted, and like the night of the city air, the light of the city nights just like fills out the screen, and then she's just like alone with her own thoughts and feeling a little depressed and sad. And then Okarun shows up and everyone's happy, and she's like, oh, I'm glad you came for me, but I'm not gonna admit it. And then they hold hands. Look at that, I'm holding hands. It's adorable. I love that. That was just a really good like emotional storytelling of just like showing how exhausted Momo is at work and how like alone and tired she was after, and how relieved she was to see Okarun. Is good. Move is called by its Japanese name in the sub, Kiko Ko something. What sub? I don't know if it was in the sub I watched. I mean, I know Japanese, I don't look at the subs, what are you talking about? Anyway. And then vibes of episode 7 continue being immaculate. Because they have Gigi training to control Evil Eye, and he was actually able to control Evil Eye for a little bit. Moi Moi Kiko Kikoho. That's funny. It's supposed to be Moi Moi Kyun. Moi Moi Tri-Beam. I might look into that later. Not important right now. Anyway. Thank you for the catching that reference. Anyway, so yeah, Gigi is able to like control Evil Eye a little bit, but then Fujin Ida spills her bubble tea on him, and then he transforms into Evil Eye, and they try to splash water at him, but he does his like little house move that he did with his first fight with Okarun, and traps Momo, and they have a very serious encounter, and then she spits hot water in his face. Because she had hot water, because she just took a gulp. And then Gigi's like, oh my god, what have I done? And Okarun's like, oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay? It's like, don't. And then he's like, Gigi, just get away from her for the now. And then Gigi's like, oh my god, what have I done? And then everyone else is like, hey, you gotta take this. This is when that scene happens where they're like, hey, you got to take this seriously, you know, Momo or somebody else might actually die next time, we might not get so lucky, we gotta kill Evil Eye. And they're like, oh, but what about the kids, like, can't we teach the kids optimism and hope? And then while they're discussing that, Okarun goes on like a training arc. Like, this is just one of those moments where, like, shit got real for a second, because, like, Momo actually almost died, and Gigi feels really bad about it, and they take it, like, really seriously. So, again, just the vibes of episode 7 were, like, very immaculate. I keep saying that, but, like, I don't know, what do you want me to say? The vibes are very good. And then they go on a training arc, and they find, this is, alien mantis shrimp's human disguise. You can see his eyes poking out. It's very funny. And Okarun tries to be like, please train me, I want to get stronger so I can fight Evil Eye. And then he's like, no. And so he leaves. And then Turbo Granny is like, okay, follow me here, I'll help train you. And then they have like they sneak into the school at like 2 a.m. So they can fight a ghost and train up. And I think that's the end of episode 7. So yeah, episode 7 might be my favorite. Just because of how, like, I know I like, you know, writing storytelling because I'm a writer, but also I really like, you know, using the power of anime to tell a story, you know? Because this is the type of story that would be very hard to convey in a different type of medium where you can't perfectly control the lighting and atmosphere of every single scene. Like that scene of Momo getting tired at work, watching the clock move really slowly, being completely alone at night, Okarun showing up and being beacon of light, the very serious near-death experience that Momo had here, the aftermath of it, and then the sneaking into the school late at night. Like, it was just a good episode. I liked it. More crazy color shit is gonna happen. Oh yeah. But I mean, like, not even just the colors, just like the general vibe of the episode. It's really hard to explain it. That is not my area of expertise. But just like the music and the pacing and the animation and the everything was just like, it perfectly sold every emotion in the scene. And episode 7 was, and then Dandadan does that great in general, but episode 7 was just like a notable example of it. Okay, almost at the end of this arc. So Turbo Granny power scales everyone, where she's like, okay, Okadun, if we're talking about like a metronome, Okadun moves at 2 beats, 2 moves per beat. So he can make 2 moves, whatever that means, per beat of the metronome. Ira can move, Ira/Acro Silky can move at 4 moves per beat, and Evil Eye moves at 10 moves per beat. So she just sat there and power scaled everyone. Like, okay, Okadun, you're at level 2, Ida, you're at level 4, and Evil Eye's at level 10. So that's the kind of training arc that we need to go. 2 frames per second. And then they have and then fudging the ghosts of composers show up, and they have a really cool last fight episode. And then they fight, and that's pretty much all they got. Where Okadun like learns how to move faster. It's basically a glorified training episode, but the vibes though, the vibes. It's all like black and white, and it's playing like this classical music. And it's a fun time. Like, they're fighting in a field, and Okadun is trying to like run fast and like save people. And then there's like giant composers show up, and then they spout vomits of like zombie hordes, and then they gotta fight through that. And then Okadun moves at like 7 beats, 7 moves per beat, and defeats all 7 composers in 1 move, or in 1 beat. So he leveled up. He's at level 7. He leveled up from level 2 to level 7 in that fight. And he defeated them by bowing, which is great. But yeah, I like when this whole episode pretty much was in black and white. Because I think, yeah, no, this is pretty much this whole episode. Because the fight with the next fight with Evil Eye is not until next episode. So it's pretty much this entire episode was just like in black and white, where the only color was the pink of Ida's hair and the red of Okadun. And then the red of Okadun took over the screen for this time. So that was fun. And then Ira also had a little moment where she was like, oh, I accidentally let out my real self as opposed to my, you know, persona that I've made to get along better with other people. Because that's her whole character arc. Don't worry about it. We'll get into that later, I guess. And then just as they're about to make the decision to kill Evil Eye, Okadun shows up and was like, I'm gonna take care of this. Yeah, he's got aura. He's back from his training arc. He's ready to kick some ass. He's like, go splash some cold water on GG. I fucking got this. And then they have a big climactic fight. And then they have a big climactic like showdown, and that's the end of episode 8. And then again, this is where I'm going to split the series or split the arc. Can I see what episode this was? No, I think this was the next episode. I don't know. Whatever. This is where I'm choosing to break the arc, and by break the arc I mean change my title and take a breather for a second. Speaking of that, I love Okadun is pretty much not a fighter. All his moves are weird as hell, like squatting. Yeah, he does some punches every now and again, but a lot of his attacks are just like headbutts and just kind of jumping and being a speedster and using quick attack. Very much a Pikachu. Because I think the only time I ever remember him doing a punch is when he goes full throttle against, or full power against Evil Eye in their first fight. But yeah, I like the rivalry they built up between Evil Eye and Okudun. Like, Okudun wants to prove that he's strong enough to protect Momo. So seeing Evil Eye attack Momo, like, really set him off, and, like, that's when he, like, decided. Like, he wants to prove that he's strong enough to protect Momo, and also he wants to save his friend and pay forward his debt from Momo and Seiko helping him with Turbo Granny. So there's a lot of motivations, and then Evil Eye just wants to kill. Evil Eye just sees Okudun as a worthy opponent in which to kill. Using squats to attack, because that's what Seiko told him to do. Oh yeah, you're right. She has a weird way of training people. But yeah, this moment right here, where like the red of Okudun's attack, and the purple of Evil Eye is like clashing. Yeah, even here, he's not using, like, a standard kick. He's, like, using, like, a weird, like, prancing kick. I don't know what you would call that. But it's fun. I'm having... Why have I not done an anime discussion in almost a year? This is fun. I like talking about anime. It's a good time. It's a good time. Also...
I have the stupid.
That is not what I meant to click on. Wanted to click on this so I could put the title in, spelled correctly. So then we go into the last arc, because it's basically like the first half of episode 9 is this fight, and then they go immediately into the next arc. So, like, I don't know, you could cut the arc at 9 or 10. I wouldn't put it by you either way. Let me just take a quick drink. Okay, so we have this fight. It's really cool. That has a great use of color. Evil Eye traps Okudun in the box, but then ooh, like he has like this, his aura like spreads out above it, and like he breaks free and then turns into this like crazy ass shadow Sora ass looking ass, heartless looking ass. Whatever the fudge this thing is, like it's just Okudun going, he's not like evil, it's just Okudun going like full out. And he does a big ass headbutt and completely destroys the house. I don't know what you were thinking about that with Okudun, but hey, whatever. So he goes all out and completely destroys Evil Eye. Animation going crazy as usual. Oh yeah, during these fight scenes, they also have crazy animation. I wish I could show that, but like, yeah, it's just shots like this. But also, I just also like the framing of stuff, where Evil Eye's like, oh, I got him in the house. He can't break free from the house. And then the red aura, the red color comes out, and then he breaks free of the house, and then he looks like this, and like shit crazy. That fight is like 5 minutes long, but it's like the craziest 5 minutes of animation you've ever seen. So then after, Evil Eye's like, hey, that didn't kill me. Fight me again because you're a worthy opponent. And Okudun's like, no, I defeated. Okay, he has to lie because he can't transform anymore, because he can do 2 all-out attacks before he just can't transform anymore. And then he used one I think he used one all-out attack on the fighting the ghosts, and then he used the second all-out attack taking down Evil Eye. And so he can't transform anymore. So he just lies through his effing teeth and is like, hey, I'm not going to fight you anymore because I don't fight weaklings and I already proved that I can beat you. And then he just kind of takes that because he's kind of like, baby. So they make a deal with Evil Eye saying that, like, hey, you know, I'll fight you if you want to fight. If you want to fight a worthy opponent, you can fight me once a week, but you can't kill anyone else, and you have to be nice. And he's like, fine, I will do that in order to fight you and your worthy opponents. Because, you know, back earlier, you know, Evil Eye just wanted a friend to play with, and that over years of being imprisoned and turned into a spirit or whatever, that turned into killing people. So playing and killing is the same thing, and he's just a little baby and he doesn't understand. And yes, that is definitely not a shadow on his neck. He rage baits Evil Eye, yeah. He outsmarts him because he realizes, oh yeah, Evil Eye's just a baby. He's just a little baby on the inside, even though he's really strong. So then that works. And then he's like, fine, take my underwear to prove that I made a deal with you and I won't kill anyone. And everyone in the background is very shocked. He's whipping his cock out! And then he turns back into Gigi, and Gigi's like, what the why am I naked? Why am I naked? And I like everyone's reaction. Oh, is that the other autonomy doll? The girls are averting their eyes, and then Seiko's just giving a thumbs up. So that is the official end of Evil Eye Arc Part 2? The training arc? Where they finish the thing? Because, like, I don't know, you could consider all that one arc. I don't know. Again, arcs are very messy in this series. But, because they still have to deal with Evil Eye, because he's still a presence. He just has agreed not to kill anyone. But he's still a threat in the background. Oh boy, what do you want? What do you want, Tevin? What video you want me to watch now? Glad you're taking advantage of my multi-streaming to send me dumb videos mid-stream. Oh.
It's cool. Oh wow. Are they making out? Let's go! Kiss him! Kiss him!
Kiss him! Kiss him! That reminds me of I can't find it. The twist his dick off! Give him the old dick twist. You know what I'm doing. But I know what he's talking about. He's pulling his cock out. I know what you're talking about. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten. Anyway, back to the show. Yes, Gigi's naked, but he's fine. Anyway, Momo and Seiko's house is destroyed, so they're like, let's go to the onsen. And then they go to the onsen, and then they're just like, well, that was the last of our money. We don't have a house, and now we're homeless. Now we are officially broken homeless. And so they go back home, and they go back to the ruins of their house, and they're like, what are we gonna do? And look who it is! It's here to help fix the house. They got Minecraft Steve to help fix their house. No, seriously, look at that and tell me, is that not just Minecraft Steve? They say it's like an alien, but it's Minecraft Steve, and he has blocks that can be used to turn into anything. So they use the blocks to rebuild their house. And they help Minecraft, and they get Minecraft Steve. It has to be a reference. It's clearly a reference. You can't tell me that's not a reference. Look at him. Look at his outfit. That's Minecraft Steve. They got Minecraft Steve to help rebuild their house. Because everything in this series is having reference. Remember earlier when I was talking about how nothing is original and everything is a reference, and how to make your art good is you just have a wide breadth of references? Yeah, this show definitely has a very, very, very wide breadth of references. A titanical breadth of references. So yeah, they have like these cubes that basically they're alien technology, and they have micro machines in them. This shows the every genre exactly. So they have these blocks have like little nano machines that read the human brainwave, and turn the human brainwave electrical signals into, like, they read that and then they turn into whatever you think of. So they're like, all you have to do is think of the house and then place these blocks down, and then they will turn into the house. And this will become important later. Because everything is important later. I thought this was just a one-off joke of like, hey, here's how they fixed her house. And here's some like sci-fi stuff, but this actually does come back later, like in like 3 episodes. But yeah, the downside of the blocks is that you need a very clear image in your mind of what you want to make. If you do not have a clear image, then it doesn't work. So they remember their house, they live in the house, so they could just use the image of their house to make the house. And it works out really well. And I like Momo's hairstyle in this one, in this episode. This Minecraft blocks will return in Avengers Endgame. This is a foreshadowing for later. These are mechanics of the show that I don't know are you putting these in here just because it's cool sci-fi stuff, or will this actually become relevant later? Because sometimes that just happens, or like it's only relevant because it's convenient for the plot, like the mantis shrimp's blood also being milk. That was just there for like, yeah, that's how it works. And yeah, also mantis shrimp is living on Earth because milk doesn't work on his planet because his planet is underwater, so he can't do like a blood transfusion with the milk. So he's just like, yeah, we're just gonna live here, and that's why he has the farmer disguise. It's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Yeah, if only we had somebody that was like, if only we had somebody who was really good at imagining situations in their head. If only we had like an antisocial nerd that was really good at imagining made-up situations in their head. That will never actually happen. Then these blocks might become more useful, but for now they just make a house. And then Gigi's like, hey, do you love Okarun? And then she gets that camera angle in anime that means like character's about to go insane. They use that a lot. I think they use that a couple of times. They also bring that back for like the last shot of the season, where they have the camera angle of the anime character going insane. That's a real life like camera trick. I forget how you do it. I think you zoom out while changing the FOV, so the things in the foreground stay the same, but the things in the background get zoomed out. Like, I think that's how you do it. Ask me anything about how cameras work. If only we had a nerd voiced by someone who's good at screaming and yelling. I'm gonna go check both his voice actors. For Japanese, this is like one of the first voice acting roles that he's ever had, which is interesting. And then in English, he's voiced by Eren Yeager and Inosuke. He's also Kirito? What the fuck? Which means he's also Rin Okumura. That's crazy. I only know him as Kirito and Okumura from Blue Exorcist. Because the entire time I was watching Blue Exorcist, I'm like, this is Ichigo from Bleach and Kirito from Sword Art Online. Those are the two main characters. You can't convince me otherwise. It's all the characters that yell. Exactly. Stardust Stream! Starburst Stream! I know that was Japanese, not English, but you get the idea. Also plays Emiya in Fate. I don't know if I've ever seen a dubbed Fate. Maybe my rewatch of Zero was dubbed. I don't remember. But anyway, it's this guy who's about to show up in 2 seconds. I need the Bakugo voice actor to appear next. Okay, so since we're talking about him, one quick thing. Gigi gets splashed with cold water and turns into Evil Eye, but Evil Eye is just kind of chill and he keeps his clothes on now. And he's like, what is going on? I just want to murder you. I don't care about you. I just want to fight, I'm gonna say Okumura. Okarun. I just want to fight Okarun. I don't care about you. I made a promise. I want to kill you, but I'm not going to kill you. And so basically Momo has to babysit him the whole episode because he just keeps getting into trouble and embarrassing Gigi, which is very funny. Anyway, yeah, because he's like teaching him how to eat and everything. Anyway, this guy just kind of shows up. This is the guy that we were talking about, the guy who's good at yelling, who's apparently voiced by Kirito in English. I gotta rewatch this. I might rewatch all of season 1 before season 2 comes out, just to watch the dub. Because again, I really like the Japanese voices, especially Momo. But I might just watch the dub just because they got Kirito playing the nerd. So this guy is like just shows up, but apparently he's been there the whole time. And then they go through like he's like just in the back. They go through but they have like flashbacks of like previous episodes. Like this is a shot from season 1, 1-to-1, and then it pans over and he was there the whole time. Like this dude was just there for all of the entire show, but he was just kind of like in the background trying to watch Okarun. And figuring out like, hey, I'm a nerd, he's a nerd, but like he's friends with this like popular girl. Like I don't get it. Like this was the episode in season 1 where they couldn't like find each other, and then they did find and they just kept missing each other, and they were just becoming friends, and it was awkward. And then they literally bumped into each other and accidentally touched lips. You think he actually has been? I think he actually has been the entire time. That the anime has a couple future character references. Yeah, especially stuff like if the manga was at that point when the anime was going, which like if they planned to do both seasons at the same time, I'm sure that's how it was. I would not be surprised if you go back and you could see him in the background. That also happened in JoJo Part 4. Where like, or in one of the early episodes, you could see a bunch of like people in the background who became like major characters in like the one-off episodes later. But yeah, and for this episode, they literally just have that scene from the first season, but they just pan to show him he's there. And then he's trying to get Okarun's attention he's like, hey, look I got a robot. Do you like robots? Because he's like the Gundam otaku. He's really into making Gundams. And he has the main character seat because he sits like in this seat. He has the main character seat, but he's not the main character. And so he's looking at Okarun and being like, how are you so popular? Because you are popular with Momo and you're also popular with Ida. And Okarun's like, oh, well, you know, it's a long effing story. I helped rescue Momo when she was almost raped by aliens, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then Ida, you know, she died, but she got better. I thought the Kingdom was gonna have some crush on Okarun. I think it's just, I just saw as like, hey, that is a possible direction that they could go. I'm just saying. Just had to fight in my comments about heteronormacy. I can't pronounce words right now, but just the idea that like, oh, you know, the default is white, straight, cis man, and everything else is you have to specify. So yeah, thank you for calling me out on that. I just assumed he was straight, but you know what? He could be after Okarun, you never know. He said something insane in regard to this. Wait, he responded? Hold on. the guy, do you know who I'm talking about? That was in my Star Fox video. Because I didn't get a notification for it, but because it's under like a potentially bad comment section, I don't think I don't get notified from YouTube. Because YouTube only gives me notifications for top comments, quote unquote. Someone came into my chat the other day. I don't see anything. Oh, are you talking about, oh, no, wait, you're not I
have this stupid.
I thought you said, he said something insane in regard to this, talking about the fight that I had in my comments the other day, but you meant he as in, this guy who does not get a name. He does not introduce himself until later. I don't know what the hell you were talking about. Oh yeah, he does say, I've taken an interest in you, and Okarun blushes. Like, I think it's in this scene. So yeah, I don't know what I have the stupid. Be nice to me. Also, Mantis Shrimp's name in Japanese is Penny Chinkosu, which is translated as Peeny Weenie in English. Can you guess what Kinta was singing? I assumed that was just it's probably, now that you mention it, it might be a Gundam opening. I don't know a lot of Gundam openings. But I did not guess that it was another reference, but I should have. Knowing in retrospect, now that I know what type of otaku he is, that he's like a Gundam otaku, I should have known that it was a reference. But I thought it was just like a traditional Japanese song or whatever. Penny Chinkosu. Everything is a reference. I know. I should know. What was the song that the kid was singing in like episode 4? Hold on one second. During this scene, at the beginning of the season, what the kid was, as he was piloting the spaceship and hosing down, what was the reference that he was singing? That was made up, okay. This is gonna be if you hover over the video, this is what plays. Because it just takes the flashiest thing. It's normally my opening screen for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know what he's singing. If I have to guess, it's a Gundam song. Anyway, yeah, I love how they show a bunch of scenes from the previous episodes with him in the background. Like, he's been watching the whole time, and I love how he just wants to know how Okarun just got so popular, and he's such a nerd, and awkward nerd. Because he was, like, proudly singing that song, what we were talking about. He was just happily singing that, and then when he got in the proximity of other people, he just kind of was, like, quieted down, and was just, like, very awkward. The joke is just the kids being annoying and singing the songs. What was Kinta singing? That's the dude's name, by the way, Kinta. Like 3 episodes from now, he says his name is Kinta. Otherwise, they refer to him as Perv, because Momo comes to Okarun and is like, "Hey, I found another one of your balls. I found another one of your Kintama." And he's like, so it's dirty jokes. That's how you got friends with Momo. So he tries to make a dirty joke, and Momo's like, "What the fuck, dude?" It is a song from a Gundam anime. Okay, that's good to know. That's funny. I got the Galaxy Express 39 reference in that one anime that I did a discussion on like a year ago. So I know some old anime. Galaxy Express 39 will take you on a journey, a never-ending journey, a journey to the stars. That one. True nerd experience, immediately losing all your personality the second you go in public. It's real and I hate it. Anyway. So yeah, anyway. So he just kind of is in the background for the moment, and then I hate everyone. You and me are different. You don't talk to people because you have social anxiety. I don't talk to people because I truly hate everyone. We are not the same. Anyway, so Momo's like, hey, there's rumors of your second golden ball, your second kingdom, your second ball testicle is at like this place, is at this like housing complex, apartment complex, and they go and they try to fight it, and it's being piloted by like an invisible thing. Do I not? Yeah, okay. This is all I have of this fight scene. This is a really cool fight scene where they're like trying to fight the invisible like monster, and they're just like busting through doors and apartment buildings, and it's really fun. Your second cold encrusted dude nut is at an apartment complex. Exactly. And then this is the scene where Momo makes a Pokemon reference, because she says something like Kintama Gettodaze, and Gettodaze is like the Japanese version of Gotta Catch 'Em All. And then the subtitles I was watching said Golden Balls Gotta Catch 'Em All, but I don't think the dub had any particular special line associated with that. So like, I don't know, man, don't worry about it. I'm gonna put on my small, ill-fitting headphones to muffle out sound. Yeah, I can't remember what they said. I looked at the line of the dub, and I just saw that she said something generic, like, "Oh, I gotta catch this thing," or "I gotta get this thing," but she did not have the Pokemon reference. So either the dub writers didn't catch that reference somehow, even though they catched all the other references, or they didn't want to for some reason, or couldn't translate it, because they could have just had her say, "Golden Balls gotta catch 'em all." She could have said something to that effect, because everyone knows what the English version of Gettodaze is. Gettodaze just means like get them, get the Pokemon. But in English, the slogan was "Gotta catch 'em all." So I don't know, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this is a cool fight. Momo uses her powers to like do Spider-Man flying shenanigans. And it turns out that the creature that they were fighting, Okanun goes like full blast and headbutts this guy, and then his shield turns off, and he's just like a lizard guy. He's just a Charizard. He's just a Charizard. We have to have Charizard at everything. That's crazy. And yeah, the unnamed perv guy is there too, because he followed them, trying to figure out what's up, what's so special with Okarun. We didn't acknowledge 10-gallon wiener. That was a pun in Japanese. I forgot what it was exactly, but because I didn't write it down, so I forgot. But like, that was the dirty joke he made when he's like, oh, when they were talking about Golden Kingtama. He was like, oh, dirty jokes, is that how you get popular with the ladies? And then he made something about a joke about a 10-gallon wiener. And it was like, I think it was just a pun. It was just like a weird pun or something in Japanese. But yeah, anyway, so they kill the monster. And then the invisible monster turns into a fudging kaiju. I love how they had that scene where like he peers in through the hole that they just threw him in, and they're like, oh shoot, and then he goes gigantic, and they have like this panning shot around him, and he's just like, there he is, pure beef wang. That's funny. Yeah, I think they also have like a not Godzilla music, something like to that effect. I know, I just watched these episodes last night. These last 3 episodes I just watched last night, and I don't remember. But hey, don't worry about it. Anyway, they have a really cool fight with this kaiju where they're trying to run away, and then Gigi and Ida show up, and they're like, oh shoot, and then they're all ready to fight, And then Momo's like, hey, nerd guy, perv nerd, perv nerd is a good name. Hey, perv nerd, go take Gigi and run back to my house. We'll meet up there. And then he's like, fine. And then he takes Gigi and he runs away. And then Momo, Okarun, and Ida fight the giant Godzilla monster who can shoot a laser beam. Like, that fight in general was insane. But it pretty much ended up with Okarun used his last full throttle. Ida almost died, and Momo had to carry Okarun and Ida back to her house. Again, that was like an entire episode of really cool fight scenes. I don't have anything to say about it, sorry. It was just cool fight scenes. That Gigi literal has meme horns in his theme song. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? But yeah, cool fight. They have to run back to Momo's house. Cause this, well, hold on. Let's acknowledge Tevin, because this next scene is the final scene and is my favorite thing in the show. Okay, other than the cliffhanger, this is like the finale. What happens next? Meme horns in his theme song. First of all, Gigi has a meme song. Literally has meme horns in his theme song whenever he's on screen. I should pay more attention to music. I am not a music person. So if a character has like a leitmotif or some sort of subtle like song that indicating that they're on screen, I did not pick up on that at all, I'm sorry. But you know what I do get? Effing giant robot references. What did you pick? Oh, you sent me another link. Okay, hold on. Make sure I don't have the audio playing. Okay. Oh, you mean the I know what you're talking about. I did not know. I now that I hear the song, I do recognize the song, but I did not know that it was like a GG specific song. That is very funny. He would have that in his theme song. Yeah, Gigi is just a big goofball when he's not possessed by a murderous child. Anyway, unnamed guy is like, they're like, hey, this whole house is made of these blocks that we can transform if we use the power of our mind, right? And then Momo's like, okay, maybe we can turn it into like a weapon that can stop this kaiju. And she fails and the house almost crumbles on top of them. And then the otaku guy overhears this conversation and he's like, oh, you need someone that has a very clear image of a weapon that we could use against this monster. Well, I am a sci-fi nerd and I have been deeply imagining this every day for my entire life. And then announces his name is Kinta Sakata Kinta. And then he turns the entire house into a giant robot, and everybody, so like the floorboards fly out, and then everyone just goes flying off in different directions. You didn't see that subtitle? I guess I missed that. Like Okarun is flying into a shaft, like somebody gets thrown down like an escalator. Momo gets shot up into something, and they get into a cockpits, and then the house turns into a giant effing robot with cool ass animation, and it's a giant Buddha robot. Also, all of the screen has like all the screens have different like references to things if you want to read them. But it just shows where like mostly just shows where everyone is. But Great Kinta Bosatsu, the Great Golden Buddha. I literally the entire Ira's entire dialogue for this these couple episodes are like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Where'd he come from? I don't even know who you are. Who is this guy? It's my favorite on running joke. He's just some dude. I love how he's just like a dude. But yeah, he uses the Minecraft blocks to transform the house into a giant robot. But Momo was thinking about a Buddha. So the giant robot looks like a Buddha because the thoughts got like mixed up. And then yeah, Ida's like, who is this guy? They got like little HUD things with their names at the bottom. It's so fucking funny. Star Fox ass things. And then Kinta gets to achieve his dream of piloting a giant robot. And then we got, for the final episode, we got a fudging kaiju versus giant robot for the final episode, and it's so effing sick, and I loved it. You have no idea how much I was like, oh my god, this show is effing awesome. This show is effing awesome. They introduced this like nerd who's like super into robots and is completely useless except for this one situation where he is the only thing that can possibly help us. Like that is the power of otaku, is like, you know, in like 99.9% of situations, all of my intricate knowledge is entirely useless. But in this 0.1% of situations, in this one very exact scenario, I'm the only one who has the knowledge to help us. And that is true otaku culture. I'm glad that the show gets it. And we also get a fun giant robot scene because like it's Dandadan. Why wouldn't we have a giant robot fight? And then they're immediately like, wait, how do we move? And then they fall over, and then they're like, well, Momo's like, well, just start hitting random buttons, and then that just causes things to fall off, and Okarun just gets ejected. And they all have like random things that happen because of their buttons that they pressed. And meanwhile, Evil Eye is just like, I hate this. I want out. I want to kill people. It's a great scene. It's another one of those scenes where like they fight, but like Godzilla monster does like big kick. They fight, and I don't have a whole lot to say, but it's a really effing cool fight. The airbags go off. And then this guy just is towering over in this like rice field, and we're like, oh shoot, maybe we can't do this. And then nerd guy is like, wait, hold on, I know how to move. Because the blocks can transform with the power of my imagination, then I can just use my imagination to move the robot. And then he turns the robot into super gold Kinta Gurren Lagann ass looking ass. I just love it with the sunglasses. And he just starts beating the hell out of this guy, and they have a laser beam battle, and like he just gets socked in the face, and like it's awesome. Like it's effing awesome. It's one of those things, you know, where I say, where I'm like, I love when things are very unexpected but completely in character, so you really should have seen them coming. This is one of those moments where I'm like, this is very in character for not just the characters in the show, but for the show itself. But so I really should have seen this coming, but it was still somehow a surprise, and I like that a lot. I like when stories can do that, can have a thing that seems obvious in retrospect, but they use clever writing and deceit to avoid you from thinking about that. Because as soon as the robot, as soon as the kaiju showed up, I should have known that this would end with either a kaiju battle or a giant robot battle. But I just wasn't thinking of it. I don't know. Am I stupid, or is the show well written? We'll never know. Anyway, so the robot like kind of defeats him, and then he's thinking about his past, about how everyone made fun of him for liking robots, but he never gave up. He never gave up his hobby, no matter how many people made fun of him. He never gave up his hobby. He held on to it because he's a true otaku, and that also, like, this scene directly connects to the current scene that's happening, where he's not gonna give up, and like it's good. I like it. as a fellow otaku, I appreciate that he won this fight via just how much he loves robots and how much he's willing to put up with other people's crap just because he really loves his hobby. Listen, I know you're like, oh, you're an anime otaku. Anime is like mainstream. When I got into anime in like the mid 2000s, anime was not mainstream. Anime was, you'd be kicked and have sand thrown in, you have dirt thrown into your eyes if you said anything about anime nowadays. Back in the day, nowadays you'd be like, oh yeah, I have a Naruto bumper sticker, whatever. You see that like on every other block. But back in the day, like, liking anime was like a nerd thing to do. Only creep, gross perverts like anime. I mean, anime still kind of has that reputation. They're like, oh, Naruto's cool, but all the other anime is bad and only for perverts. So anyway, yeah, as a fellow person who was bullied for their interests, I like how they portrayed that, and they showed that it's his willingness to persevere and how that actually worked out. Anime is good. I'll save that as a clip, but I don't know, because that was some fire that I just hit. But I don't know if that's kind of a spoiler for the show. But yeah, Kinta finally has his dream of piloting a giant robot. He's like, I've been training all of my life, because he goes out, he's like, I've gone through a bunch of amusement parks just to get used to the motion sickness, and then he does a giant drill attack on the monster, and that still doesn't do him in. So then Fujin, Ira, and Momo wake up, and then they combine their powers with the robot, so the robot goes through transformations, you know, as anime does. We can't have a robot scene without it going through crazy power-up transformations. So, fun Momo and Ira yelling at him for the intercoms. And then she's like, who is this guy again? But then we have this effing cool transformation where Momo is using her psychic powers to keep the arms up, and Ira has her hair, and it's got the fudging. It's so sick. It's so effing sick. This show is so good. And then they spin him and then kill him. They do a suplex on him and finish him off for good. And then he goes and deflates and turns back into being like a regular sized. And then this was all taking place in like a pocket dimension, and as soon as the kaiju is defeated, kaiju just means like, you know, like Godzilla monster, giant Godzilla monster in Japanese. They just refer to them as kaijus. Don't ask me why Japanese has a specific word for this, but don't worry. Don't worry about it. So anyway, as soon as the kaiju is defeated, the pocket dimension goes away, and then they're just in the middle of town, and then they transform the robot into a little UFO and fly home, and then they kind of just crash landed at the house. And then they're just like, well, that was awkward. And then they had to Momo and Ida had to immediately go to the bathroom to throw up because they have motion sickness from being in that robot. And then meanwhile, Kinta's like, I finally got to fulfill my dream and pilot a giant robot. And I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of you, buddy. I know I just met you 5 minutes ago, but I'm so proud of you. Completely forgot Okadun got jet launched. Yeah, that's why Okadun got jet launched, and GG/Evil Eye just kind of left because he doesn't want to be in that robot. And Evil Eye being 5, yeah, he's just a babby. So anyway, everyone in the street is like taking photos of this giant robot and this UFO flying by, and then this like kaiju that's like passed out in the street, and then they grab it and run away. Okadun like splashes hot water on GG, and then he turns back into GG, and then they grab the kaiju and just kind of run away. Oh my god, I'm almost done. And then when they get the kaiju back, they're like, "Hey, I think I see a person's head in the kaiju. Like, what the fudge? And are we gonna did the kaiju eat somebody? Are we gonna have to save them?" And then Okanun's like, "I'll deal with it." And then he finds a zipper on the kaiju, and they're like, "Wait, this is a costume?" And he unzips it, and there's just this cute alien anime girl that's in the robot, that's in the kaiju suit. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then she's like, "Oh," she wakes up and then immediately kisses Okarun, in which Momo walks out from after throwing up in the bathroom to find this, and her response is just blows up the house. And then that's the end of the anime. The end. This show's great. I love this show. Talking about it has made me just love it even more. So yeah, we got another sudden ending, but that makes sense because have you seen this show? Where else would you where would you put this ending? Where else would you put this split in this ending? You just want to have if this was the mid 2000s, we'd have an anime original ending. The last half of this anime would have been an anime original ending where Gigi is like the final boss or whatever, and Okarun has to go Super Saiyan and beat him, and then the end of the day, and then they open the gates of hell or something. I don't know. Going back to Blue Exorcist, you will end up watching Blue Exorcist. The second half of season 1 is filler. Don't watch it. Anyway, especially since season 2 just pretends the second half of season 1 didn't exist. But that's the only weird watch order of Blue Exorcist. And also after season 1 you can watch the movie, but the movie is also non-canon, but it's a fun non-canon anime movie, which is a lost medium. But anyway, sudden ending, but it's this show, and a season 3 is already planned. So yeah. That's just how it effing ends, and I'm assuming season 3 will be dealing with the outcome of who or whatever this is. I'm assuming she's some sort of alien. Okay, I'm back. YouTube did something stupid. Also, rip Ida. Oh yeah, she was in that house still. That's what you meant. Okay. You avoid a ban for today, Tevin. You avoid a ban for today. But yeah, I was just gushing about how effing good this show is, about how awesome that robot fight was. Hello, Momo Dandadan Real. How's it going? You caught me at the very end of the stream. But bookmark this page because it will become a VOD, a timestamped VOD after the stream ends. But yeah, we're talking about the ending. I effing love this show. This show is fantastic. Alright, I'll subscribe. Thanks. I was just talking about how great the final episode was because I'm like, of course Dandadan would do a giant robot battle. And then the Kinta uses his otaku powers of, you know, his constant perseverance that he built up, his perseverance skills that he built up via years of ridicule from being a Gundam nerd, and him just persevering through that and doing it anyway, and like having this final fight. Yeah, like this shot where he's like picking up the where like a bully like threw his Gundam box to the ground, and he's picking it up, and he's like, I'm gonna persevere and keep doing my hobby because that's what I love. And then he's like, I'm gonna keep persevering in this fight because it's what I love. And then they transform, and like the show is so good, and it ends on a crazy ass cliffhanger where this girl shows up, has to be some sort of alien, I guess, because of her antenna, and then kisses Okarun for some reason, and then Momo responds to this by killing Ida. I can't remember this new girl's name. Well, that would be a spoiler, so don't say Tevin. Tevin1111, using your full legal name. Oop. Love how everyone has backpacks that fit their gimmicks. I know, I noticed that they had like that some people had like big square backpacks. Oh yeah, and he has like a Gundam backpack, I guess. He has a backpack that fits his gimmick, but I can't recall anyone else. Yeah, because Gigi has like a big bag and ISA has like a purse. And I like Gigi seemingly likes Kinda, but I don't think it's the same way around. Yeah, how Gigi transformed into Evil Eye was when Gigi was transporting Kinta back to Momo's house. Kinta sweated on him and he turned into Evil Eye from that and then went back. And they're like, we have to have Evil Eye help, and Okarun is like, we can't do that because if we let Evil Eye kill someone or fight someone, then that breaks the rules, and then he'll might kill other people. So that GG Evil Eye is just a trump card they can't really use, but I'm sure it will be used again at some point. And again, she has that camera angle of going insane. And because she's holding a block of the house, that block is going to transform into what she's envisioning in her head, and what she's envisioning in her head is an explosion. Gotta go because it's late at night for me. Okay. Definitely watch the VOD, because I already talked about season 1, and now I just finished season 2, and when season 3 comes out, I will definitely be on that, because this show is effing fantastic. But thanks for stopping by, Momo Dandadan Real. I was like, I thought that fake accounts would go away after YouTube stopped letting people do nicknames, but apparently not. Or that is the actual real Momo Dandadan. In which case, Eigo Jozu desu ne. 10 days ago. Okay, I know it's not Halloween yet, but I'm curious. But like, right now, who do you want to be for Halloween? I think I'll be Luffy or Aluka. Momo. Momo Dandadan Real. Get your stuff together. It's also late for me. I gotta stop. I'm almost done. Because I've been going for 2.5 hours, technically 3.5 hours. But the first hour was just me trying to fix things that I will cut out in the VOD. But yeah, Super 2 was super fun, and I have more respect for it given this discussion, because this is why I like doing these discussions, because I enjoy the anime more because of it. Because like before I was like, yeah, I don't know if it did a whole lot of stuff, but like thinking back on it, like it had that like otaku thing. It had like season 2 had a lot of fights, and like the fights are cool, but like I don't know, like they're just fights. There were a lot of scenes of like, okay, they fight, and like that was pretty much it. Like the first fight with Gigi and Okarun, the fight with the grannies, the fight, like there was just a lot of just they fight. But there was a lot of also like character arcs and stuff. This is also from episode 1. Yeah, I did catch that at the very end of episode 1, where Okarun tells Momo her name, and it's Takakura Ken. He has the same name as her crush. Like she makes this expression, and like a thing blows up in the background. I also like how the cube kind of melts in her hands. That's really funny. But yeah, season 2 was super fun. I think, I don't know, season 1 had better like plot. This didn't have a whole lot of plot other than Evil Eye bad, and Okarun is a good guy and wants to help, and also the power of otaku. So season 1 definitely had a lot of like more plot, and season 2 kind of felt like very much a back half of a bigger season, which is probably because it was supposed to be part of a bigger season, but whatever. There's also wasn't a lot of like relationship development going on. There was a little bit like near the end of like Gigi's hometown there, but like not as much as season 1. But it's still really good. So I will definitely. I just ranted for 2.5 hours about how effing good it was. So I will definitely be watching season 3, and I think more highly of it now than I did when I first. She had a big purple backpack. That's funny. I could not tell the color of it in that shot, but yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I feel already higher praise of it now than I did when I first finished the show and wrote these notes yesterday. Can't wait to know the aftermath of this so we know what the hell happened to Ida. Yeah, she's just dead. Although characters don't die, it's like a Nintendo. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's like a Nintendo. But yeah, still really good. Season 2, I think, yeah, has less plot but better fights. But it's still overall like really good. So like if you like season 1, you'll like season 2. Season 1 was just a little like more, yeah, it had a little bit more plot, and like the arcs were a little bit shorter. Like there were like only like 3 major arcs in the season: the Evil Eye, and then fighting the kaiju. Where like in season 1 there was like 4 arcs, and they fought like 4 different like things. Because they fought the aliens, Turbo Granny, who turned into like a crab, and then they also fought like that wall guy at the temple at Momo's house. Then they fought like the mantis shrimp and the like Loch Ness monster, and then they also fought Acro Silky. Like there was a lot more variety of what they were doing. But I mean, I still enjoyed it. I think I never sat around being like, man, this arc is really staying its welcome. Is overstaying its welcome. I never thought that. So like, I don't know. I just kind of, looking on it in retrospect, kind of missed the variety. But it's still really good, so I like it a lot. I will give it a what did I give the first season? If I have to give it a number to score. First season I gave an 8. Honestly, I'm thinking like is it a 9? I'd have to rewatch the first season. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for now, but it might get to a 9. Because it's really like I think that season 2 definitely solidified this series in my mind. Where season 1 was just like another cool experimental anime with good animation. Where like, I also fell in my chair a little bit, sorry. But season 2 is definitely like, oh hey, this anime has legs, like I can see this going on for a while and still continuing to be interesting. It wasn't just a one-off. Because it's one thing to do interesting things for 12 episodes. It's another thing to do interesting things for 24 episodes. Like, there's not a lot of anime that can, like, even some of the really good anime that I like that are 12 episodes, I think would be just objectively worse if they tried to make it any longer. But this is, like, the opposite. I thought it got better as it went on, or, like, I enjoyed the series more overall as it went on, even though I think I like season 1 a little better. So, yeah, that's Dandadan. Let's hope, Ira made it out of Ira was evacuated just in time. Don't worry about it. Or maybe it didn't, the house didn't actually explode. It just looked like an explosion. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. And for the manga readers in the comments or in the chat, don't tell us. No spoilers, please. We will find out when season 3 comes out. But that does not have a current release date yet. I can look it up. I think it was announced at the end of season 2, but yeah. It just has a to be released status on AniList. But the icon for it is the girl in the suit. Hold on, I pull it up real fast. Because I need to pull up an image anyway. Yeah, the promotional image is the girl in the kaiju suit. So that's fun. I'm very much looking forward to that, and I want them to take their time with it, because Dandadan, one of the things that's really elevates Dandadan above a lot of other anime is just how well it's made. Like not just like writing, like manga writing wise, but also like how they chose to adapt it and like use the because it doesn't just have good animation, it has good directing, where like they have very careful use of like camera shots and stuff and like references to previous things, and like it gives it its soul, you know? I have not seen this yet, the picture. Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. Okadoon and Turbo Granny and Momo with alien kaiju girl in the background. That's fun. Which kind of confirms it is a suit that she can go back inside, which I guess we can already see from back here, where it is definitely like a suit. But anyway, that is it for Dandadan. You want to see my reaction when season 3 comes out? You should follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. But the next, yet another reference to finish off the video. A reference to what? A reference to what? Quick, before I announce the next anime that we will be discussing. I don't know where to put this image. Okay, right here is good, because it's soon going to be replaced. And yeah, you don't have to tell me. Okay, I'm just gonna announce it. Tevin is taking their sweet ass time. Oh, it's a reference to how that film from those old ass Godzilla movies, the guys in big monster suits. Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense, because in the old Godzilla movies, the Godzilla was not CGI or anything. It was just a guy in a suit on a set that is made to look like he's really big, like on a set with little tiny houses and stuff. So yeah, I get that. That's cute. Anyway, next anime discussion series will be the beginning of Pride Month. And to start off Pride Month, last time with Pride Month we did a I did a personal trans adjacent anime, and then we also did Yuri on Ice for the gay anime. But for the lesbian fans in the crowd, we only watched that movie. That movie did make me cry, but it was just a movie, not a full anime discussion. So for the first anime discussion of Pride Month will be Bloom Into You discussion on June 14th. So yeah, this is highly acclaimed in the lesbian Yuri community. Like the the Yuri community is a highly acclaimed anime in the Yuri community, and for some reason I have never watched it. So I'm like, you know what? It's been on my watch list for like 10 years at this point. When is it from? Let's find out. We can find out right now together. Bloom Into You. Yagate Kimi ni Naru. It is from 2018. So yeah, it has probably been on my watch list since 2018. It's a 13 episode Yuri love story. They're about to bloom into each other. I get it, Tevin. But yeah, it has been highly acclaimed, so I'm very much looking forward to watching it. Trying to figure out what else did the director do. Also worked on Attack on Titan, and also worked on the hetero slop from a couple seasons ago of that one girl who likes bread. That was really well animated. What the fudge was that show called? Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. I watched the first episode of that for the seasonal review. Also worked on Fire Force. Interesting. Should watch Fire Force. It seems dumb, but it seems like I might like it. But yeah, that's what we're watching. It will be 3 weeks, because I want to take my time. Instead of 2 weeks, as usually the anime discussions are 2 weeks notice. But we're doing 3 weeks because I want to make sure I take my time with this, and B, I'm busy this week. So I need an extra week. Need to finish Fire Force, yeah. Oh my gosh, what was that? Also, if you have any recommendations for what I should watch for Pride Month, Pride Month, then please let me know, because I have a couple ideas of what I could do after Bloom Into You, but I have not set on anything yet. Like either a short anime or a animated movie. I'm too busy obsessing over other things. Surely you've seen gay anime in the past, right, Tevin? Right. Also, for people who are planning to watch this along with me and join me in the discussion, which I highly recommend, I'll be watching the show in sub in the Japanese version because I have trust issues with dub and queer anime. And yes, don't tell me I know all anime is queer, but you get the idea. I was referencing finishing Fire Force. Now you have more anime homework. But yeah, I think the show also has a dub too. So if you want to watch the dub, just be my guest. Just know that is what I will be watching. If you want to watch the exact same thing as I do. But I do like having Tevin be the designated dub watcher and tell me what is different from the sub and the dub. I feel like Momo might be specifically the most different character in the Dandadan dub, because like her personality like really comes through in her voice, of how like sometimes how super casual like she acts and like how she talks about things. But I don't know, man. Thought you already told me you were gonna watch Nakamura-kun at some point. See, there you go. Now you're recommending me stuff. Is that your official recommendation? If you're watching sometime before June 14th, let me know if you have a gay anime request. And yes, I know all anime is gay anime. Is it finished? Oh, it will be finished. When will it be finished? Because it's currently airing. Will it air by the end of June? Because I would want to do it like on June like 28th or something. Like the weekend of the 26th to the 28th. So it's on episode 9 right now. Yeah, it should be. If it's on episode 9, then it should be. And if it's only like 12 or 13 episodes, then it should be finished by the end of June. So I will note that down as a request, Tevin, and my secret Google documents, my secret files, my confidential documents of future stream ideas. Anime discussions. We just did Dandadan. Yeah, go for it. Ganbate Nakamura-kun is already on the list, but I will put it higher priority on the list. So yeah, we might do that, but because it will also double as a currently airing show, so I'll get double. It'll be Pride Month and a currently airing show. And I think after that, for July, I'll do like summer, spring anime. What is the current season? What is the current season? Spring. Because there's a couple of interesting spring shows. And then will also get back to Ranma at 1/2 and Oshinoko at some point. But yeah, for right now, we're gonna watch Bloom Into You. Yippee! I'm looking forward to it. I've been in a Yuri kick. So yeah. Goodbye, screening window. Goodbye, image. And goodbye, chat. I hope you all have enjoyed. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I have an outro bit planned. Okay, anyway. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, under 3 hours, so that's usually what I aim for with these anime discussions. So I hope you have all enjoyed. Hold on, let me just look at my shoes. Fit check, fit check. Okay. I hope you all have all enjoyed. If you want to support me, go follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, like the video on YouTube. VOD watcher, like the video, comment the video. Would be very appreciative. I definitely am also just want comments in general, just because like I'm curious like what other people's perspective on Dandadan is. I will read and try to respond to every comment. I think I've been responding to every comment I had at this point. Cause I just like interacting. I like the interaction. It's fun. It's fun. Just, you know, sitting here talking with my one chatter has been fun. So you know what they say, the more the merrier. You can also follow me, go to the link tree and follow me on everything. I also post daily shorts on YouTube and everywhere else. So go do that as well. But I think that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Support art, support artists. I forgot, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you later. Goodbye. Stay fresh, cheese. Bye.